Welcome along, and we continue the army analysis series by looking at the Aragonese 1200 AD army with Castilian 1200 AD allies. Just to say from the start, I think there is just this choice of allies, the Castilian 1200 or the French. So there's not much to choose from, and they're almost the same. When I went through the lists, almost the same kind of units. I think the French had the Lowland Spear on offer, one unit, but as just one unit, I like that unit, but as just one at 54, I felt it might be better just to go with the extra light horse, especially the way that the DLC and all the new armies from that new DLC, a lot more mounted bow light horse, so it might be good rather than spending extra on one half decent infantry unit, maybe go with the light horse. So this is what we've done. It looks quite well balanced. I noticed that quite a few players have taken this army in the league, so it's another reason to have a look at it. Starting with the infantry, I have taken two of the armoured defensive spearmen. I've talked a lot about armoured spearmen before. Just the way the points were, I could upgrade from my defensive spear to armoured defensive spear, which gives me a small advantage in POA. It's about plus 25, I think, over your standard units. I don't spend 48 generally, unless I've got lots of points left over. I don't generally spend 48 on offensive spearmen, although saying that, there might be, reasons, because a lot of these units are defensive spear. So it's always good to have at least a few offensive units, which just means you've got more flexibility in how you're playing, and you don't lose out on POA when you charge in. But you do have these rather funky units, which a lot of armies don't have. They've just got all dominated by defensive spear, but at least you've got these Almuhavars, and they look pretty good. Because they are impact foot. Okay, a little bit expensive, 42, but they're above average. So it seems to me, looking at this list, that there's a few question marks, but this list could work out quite well, because if this impact foot does well, it's above average impact foot, so you're going to have good POA advantage on impact. If you go in together, it's highly likely you might be able to disrupt at least one unit, which would be good. Then you've got all this light horse. I think that could be key to this army as well. If you can keep the enemy cavalry at bay, distract them, harass them, you've got a fair bit here. You've got 6. What have I got? 6 light horse and sergeants, and then 3 knights. So it's not too bad. Just, to slow down the enemy cavalry. A lot of these new armies have got 14 cav, like Byzantine, Georgians, and Berber around 19 in the builds I was looking at. So anything you can do to slow down the cav, and the crossbowmen is going to help you a lot as well. So there's a lot of plus points, I'd say, about this army. A good amount of defensive spear. I've taken 4 plus the raw spear, 3, and with the 2 armored spear, it's a decent army. I also like the fact that, and this is another reason why I took this army over the French, I got some extra cheaper end skirmishers, so I can field 4, and then I just had some spare points and I spent them on the light archers. So we've got 5 skirmishers, which is about okay for this 1200 points, which is what we play in the league in HMA. So for 1200 points, around 5 skirmishers is fine, and you've got quite a lot of light horse as well. So if you wanted to, dedicate a couple of these units to hunting down enemy skirmishers, then you could. What am I going to give this list? B+, perhaps. You haven't got any veteran spear. You haven't got any superior quality impact foot, like the Dailami. Haven't got any dismounted knights. So, the crossbowmen about average for European armies. Yeah, you've got 2 armoured spearmen, but they don't give you a great advantage overall against other spearmen units. So you're also a little bit limited in that you have to take out 3 knights, and that's a lot of points gone already. It's about 216 points that you have to spend on knights. It would be nice if it was just 2. Then you'd have more. You could take more infantry and an extra crossbowman. I've almost maxed, but not quite. I do try and take out some of the raw spear, and we got 3 of those because they're great value for money. They're actually the price of one of these knights. You get 3 raw spear. So knights are really expensive, and as I've mentioned in other videos, in this new DLC with all these mounted bow units, you're going to have to be careful with these knights, which is another reason why maybe I'm just giving this army a B+ at the moment, because it's going to be hard to keep these knights alive, and trying to wait for your moment, really. Use them at the right time because they cost so much. Got to try and make use of them. So, interesting mix. Let's see how this impact foot does. That's quite nice that you got some really good medium foot. So if a map has a lot of rough ground, which mostly in the middle anyway, this map is really open. So that's not great unless you played on the defensive. Put these guys maybe in here. And maybe you want, if you're playing one of the new kind of horse archer dominated armies, probably you just have to play defensive and set up around here. Crossbowmen, maybe 1 or 2 in the woods. And because this is great for cavalry, this kind of map. Yeah, so I don't know, or you could just extend your line and advance. Different ways to play. But B+, yeah. Maybe I'd like, ideally, a couple of better quality infantry units. I don't want to spend 48 on offensive spear. Don't have any light lancers or mounted bow. We're just going to have to see how well we do with these light horse. The javelin. It's like upgraded javelin horse. Let's see how well they do. Okay, that's about it. Let's see. Put your comments below if you've used this army. Maybe you've got some comments to make. If you're playing against this army, let us know how you do. and see you again soon.